So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. And I have a weird and bizarre album for you couchers today. So, I'm talking about a band that I recently interviewed on the channel, and it's called Melted Bodies. And the album is called The Inevitable Fork, and this is an album that was divided into three EPs. So they put out the first EP like 2 years ago with a couple of songs. Then they put a second EP, and now this is the last EP. So if you want to hear the whole thing in full, it's actually 20 songs. Out of those 20 songs, there's like 15 or 14 songs, and there's a few interludes here and there. And the only way you can listen to it in full is if you listen to it on Bandcamp, because it's not going to be on the other streaming services. And you can actually buy it for the band, the 20 songs as a vinyl or other formats. So, yeah, the best way to describe Melted Bodies, think of System of a Down, Devo, and Mr. Bongo had a baby together. And that's the sound of the band. As you can see for the album artwork, yeah, it's as bizarre as this artwork. And this is a very unique and unpredictable record. You really don't know where it's going because sometimes it can go full blown like thrash. Sometimes it can go like very frantic, fast paced, electronic, or industrial metal. And it can even go with piano and ballady at times and rock. So you never know where this album is going. So they released 5 new songs today, the Friday, but out of those 2 songs, 2 were singles with Bloodlines and Something Is Wrong. But every EP has something different. I'm going to focus more on these newer songs because the other ones has been out for a while. But yeah, the way the lead singer for this band sings, it's really unique. It's very theatrical. Another band that I reminded musically of was Frank Zappa. I'm like, yeah, this is just so weird and bizarre. And the vocalist, his name is called Andy Ham, and he was in a band called Local Natives. So he left that band and then he found some other individuals to form this band. And he says in a comment, we all have a right at or approaching our own version of what I call the inevitable fork. And this is overarching theme informs most of these songs in some way, much of which is very personal. Our bloodlines, mental health, past traumas, accomplishments, and regrets eventually lead us to all to choose one of these forks' many prongs to follow. Maybe we accept that it's all imperfect and we embrace our flaws to make anew or try again, or perhaps we avoid, stall, numb, or overindulge. We all have been told it's now or never, but yet we have never heard that so many times. This stigma feels our avoidance, unaccountability, and utter laziness. But rest assured, the inevitable fork is coming for us all, whether we appreciate it or appall it. So basically, this is the concept of this record. It's like in life, you reach a point where you need to make decisions, and some decisions takes you to good things, other to traumas. But it's an interesting concept, and I think it's smart to divide them in three pieces and now combine them because this is not easy listening by any stretch of the means. Some parts of this album is very abrasive, in your face. So this is not easy listening music by any stretch of the means, but it's so unique and like interesting that you can't help like to listen to it and saying like, what the fuck and am I listening to? Because it's that bizarre. For example, the song Bloodlines, that really gave me a lot of like System of a Down vibes in the way that the lead singer singing, and it's frantic and rapid in nature, but there's a part uh, where it almost sounds that they're gonna do a B-52's Rock Lobster, for example. So, and it doesn't sound out of place. Then you have tracks like Wrath of Flies, which is like short, industrial, like ministry sounding, very abrasive. And you have like other tracks like Splitting, which is more industrial, electronic at times, but like think Skinny Puppy with some Nine Inch Nails, and you'll get the sound of that track. And other songs like Something Is Wrong. Again, it has a little bit of Mr. Bungle with System of a Down. I think the vocal approach of this song is very unique because uh, it's it's so out there that you don't know sometimes where the song is going. The music video for Something Is Wrong is also pretty amazing, so you should check it out. Then you have softer tracks like Talk Some More About It, which is like a 6 minute. It starts like with piano and it has like more clean vocals. And I think the bass player also does some backing vocals on this one. And I thought, yeah, very interesting how they can do different things. Other tracks that really stood out to me in this album is the song Liars, which is pretty cool. And you have a song like Relax You Are Lazy that is, again, so frantic as fuck that you would feel it. And the longest track on the record is a song called The Avalanche. It's like a 7, 8 minute song. And that has more electronics into it and keyboards and spacing and, that Frank Zappa comparison that I was talking about. But also other, the tracks, every track has so many blends and different turns that it's an album that is not predictable. It's not like an album that you're hearing it and you're saying like, yeah, I know where it's going. I'm like, no, I can tell you that you won't know where it's going. So yeah, this is a very unique album. Yeah, I'm not going to use the term avant-garde because whatever. I just think this is harsh alternative metal music and rock. This is a band that is hard to categorize because they have so many layers to their sound. So I would recommend, yeah, if you want to listen to the thing in full, go Bandcamp, support the band, or you can listen it like in the EPs. But in the EPs, you don't get the interludes, and the interludes really connect like the story because there's like a theme to the record, and the interludes are there to connect the different parts of the record. So yeah, The Inevitable Fork by Melted Bodies is one of the most unique sounding records that you're going to listen to this year. It's not easy listening, but if you want to listen to some strange, bizarre, amazing music, listen to Melted Bodies because it's really a band that it's like there's not a whole lot of bands doing what these guys are doing. And if you want to know more about this record, I actually interviewed two members from the band, and we talked all about this record, themes on the record, and how they did this record and how they divided them. So they explained that in detail in my interview. So it'll be somewhere around here. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Melted Bodies and The Inevitable Fork? What do you think? What do you think of this unique band from LA, California? And if you like the videos, give me a like, subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get more people like yourself. So coming up next this weekend on the couch, we have a brand new Is It That Bad? And we're going back to 1999 and talk about when Tommy Lee thought he was a rapper with Methods of Mayhem this Sunday at 10 a.m. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.